Imagine your life right now. You're sitting in a chair, walking to class, or lying in bed. You feel stationary, but you're actually a passenger on a massive cosmic merry-go-round. At this very moment, the Earth is spinning on its axis at roughly 1,000 miles per hour at the equator. It's a speed we've evolved to ignore, a constant in the background of human history. But what if, in the blink of an eye, that constant was shattered? What if some celestial hand spun the vial and doubled the Earth's rotation speed to 2,000 miles per hour? You wouldn't feel the world jerk beneath you like a car slamming on its brakes. Instead, the first thing you would notice is a strange, dizzying sensation of lightness. At the equator, the outward centrifugal force would increase so much that you would suddenly weigh about 1% less than you did a second ago. It's a small change, but it's the first sign that the fundamental rules of your world have been rewritten. And while you're marveling at your newfound ability to jump slightly higher, a planetary catastrophe is already gaining momentum. The most immediate and terrifying consequence wouldn't be in the sky, but in the water. We often think of the oceans as static basins, but they are held in place by a delicate balance of gravity and rotation. The Earth isn't a perfect sphere, it's an oblate spheroid, bulging at the center because of its spin. When that spin doubles, the bulge doesn't just grow, it explodes. Gravity wants to pull water toward the center of the Earth, but centrifugal force wants to fling it out into space. At double speed, centrifugal force wins the opening round. Trillions of tons of seawater would begin a frantic, violent migration toward the equator. In the northern and southern latitudes, the sea would simply disappear. Harbors in London, New York, and Tokyo would empty in hours, leaving ships stranded on muddy plains and exposing ancient shipwrecks to the air for the first time in history. But where that water goes is the stuff of nightmares. As the oceans pile up at the center of the planet, they create an equatorial bulge of water. We are talking about a permanent, mile-high wall of water circling the globe. Every island and coastal city near the equator, Singapore, Quito, Nairobi, would be wiped off the map. Not by a wave, but by a rising permanent tide that reclaims the land and turns the center of the Earth into a single global ocean. If you manage to survive the water, you have to face the air. The Earth's atmosphere is held to the planet by friction and gravity, but the air is a fluid, and fluids have inertia. When the solid ground beneath the air suddenly doubles its speed, the atmosphere can't keep up immediately. It begins to slip. This creates a global windstorm unlike anything in human history. Imagine a hurricane. Now imagine a hurricane that never ends and covers the entire planet. As the Earth spins at 2,000 miles per hour, the air lagging behind creates surface winds that approach 1,000 miles per hour. For perspective, the strongest hurricanes ever recorded have winds of about 200 miles per hour. A 1,000 mile per hour wind doesn't just blow down trees, it strips the paint off cars, levels skyscrapers, and scours the soil right off the bedrock. The sound would be a constant, deafening roar, the sound of the planet itself struggling to move through its own air. In this world, living on the surface is impossible. Humanity's only hope for survival would be deep underground, in bunkers reinforced to withstand the literal weight of a screaming atmosphere. As the physical world falls apart, your internal world follows. Our biology is tuned to the 24-hour cycle of light and dark. This is our circadian rhythm, and it controls everything from our sleep cycles to our hormone levels and digestion. In this new reality, the sun doesn't rise and set, it streaks across the sky. A full day is now only 12 hours long. 6 hours of blinding, fast-moving daylight, followed by 6 hours of pitch-black night. Your body wouldn't know when to sleep or when to eat. The psychological toll would be devastating. Total exhaustion would set in within days. Animals would fare even worse. Migratory birds that rely on the sun's position would become hopelessly lost. Nocturnal predators would find their hunting windows slashed in half. Ecosystems that have taken millions of years to stabilize would collapse in a single week. The world would become a blurry, frantic race against a sun that refuses to stay still. Now, let's look further out. The Earth is tilted at 23.5 degrees, which gives us our seasons. This tilt is stabilized by the Moon and the Earth's own rotation. But when you double that rotation, you change the Earth's angular momentum. The planet becomes like a spinning top that has been hit with a hammer. Over the coming months and years, the Earth would likely begin to wobble violently on its axis. This is the death wobble. Our predictable seasons would vanish. One month, the North Pole might be tilted directly at the sun, causing instant, catastrophic melting of the ice caps and sending temperatures soaring to over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. A few months later, that same pole could be tilted away into a deep, eternal freeze. The climate would become a chaotic lottery. Agriculture would become a thing of the past. You can't grow crops when the seasons change every few weeks and the weather swings from Arctic blizzards to Saharan heat waves. Civilization, as a structured society based on food production, would effectively end. If we look thousands of years into the future, the Earth would no longer look like the blue marble we know. The constant outward pressure of the double spin would permanently change the planet's shape. The Earth would become significantly flatter at the poles and much wider at the equator. This change in shape would trigger massive seismic activity. The Earth's crust isn't one solid piece. It's a series of plates floating on a mantle. As the planet's shape shifts, those plates would grind, buckle, and snap. Volcanoes would erupt on a global scale, filling the atmosphere with ash and further complicating the already chaotic climate. The new equatorial sea would be so massive and heavy that it would actually change the Earth's center of gravity. The planet would effectively be divided into two separate habitable zones, the northern and southern temperate circles, separated by a violent, storm-racked ocean that no ship could ever cross. We often look at the stars and wonder about the Goldilocks zone, the perfect distance from a sun to allow for liquid water. But we rarely think about the Goldilocks spin. Our 24-hour day isn't just a convenient way to track time. It is the heartbeat of our planet. It keeps our oceans in place, our winds manageable, and our biology in sync. Doubling that speed doesn't just make the day shorter. It unhooks the Earth from the laws of stability. It turns our home into a hostile, alien world that is actively trying to shake us off. We survive today because the Earth rotates at exactly the speed it does. If it ever decided to pick up the pace, the human story would reach its final chapter very, very quickly. So the next time you feel like the day is going too slow, remember that slow, steady pace is the only thing keeping the world beneath your feet.